In today's lessons, we're going to be looking at functions. And we're going to look at functions in context of something that should be familiar to us, the Electoral College when we vote for the president. Remember, we don't live in a pure democracy. I don't vote for the president, or you won't vote for the president. You will vote for a slate of electors who are pledged to vote for the president, or your candidate, I should say. So, for example, South Dakota has 3 electoral votes. So when we vote, it's a winner-take-all. The only state that is not a winner-take-all is Nebraska, the state below us. They're kind of weird because they only have they also only have one house or one chamber for the state legislature. In Nebraska, they do a proportionality. That is, if a certain candidate, they're going to split their 5 votes based on the percentage of what that candidate does. But every place else is winner take all. That is, if your candidate wins by 1 vote or wins by 1,000,000 votes, they get all electoral votes for that state. So in South Dakota, we have 3 people who will vote for that way. Notice in California, they have 55. That's a very big state, and 38 in Texas, and 29 in Florida. So what happens is, the reason we do this is the idea was that each candidate is going to have to send their message to the different states. And so these states with the small number of electoral college votes will get some say, versus the big states where they're going to have a lot more. When we look at how does this relate to the popular vote, here are last 2 elections. And I know you can debate, and there's some debate to be going on about the results of the 2020. I'm not going to dispute that with you. I'm here to present you facts and then have you make the decision. What happens, you can see this picture. Notice how the red, Trump has most of the Midwest states. I mean, Midwest and South. And then Biden has states throughout here. But the key here is we don't vote by geography. We vote by people. So although South Dakota doesn't have as many as California, but that's because we have less people. Notice in both cases, this election and the last election, based on the facts of where we're at right now, is Trump had a less number of votes in both cases. But as you can see, in the most recent election, when we have Biden who had 72 million votes, so what percentage is that about? Well, let's divide that out. What's 72 million divided by 140 million about? So Biden had about 51% of the popular vote. And Trump had about 49% of the popular vote. It was a tight race, no matter how you look at it. And in this case, you have to have 270 electoral votes to win. And as it turned out, Biden had 306, so he was elected as president. In the previous election, notice it was about the same. Clinton had 48% of the vote, and Trump had 47% of the vote. But because of the way the Electoral College was laid out, Trump won. Although he had less number of the popular vote, he still won the total election because he had a total of 304 electoral votes.